Hey there, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 94 of Sonic Boom TV. Been away for almost 2 weeks. I had to get my washer dryer unit replaced, which caused me to have to pull everything out of my closet, my washing room, whatever you want to call it, and my whole apartment just had to be moved for them to get this thing in here and take the old one out. And so I made a mess. And then along with that mess, I had to go to take pictures at a wedding, and I just had other stuff. Been working late the last few days, so I didn't have time to do videos. But anyway, I did go out and get some stuff, thrift store type stuff. Today, I'm not doing the Rancid rankings today, but I did pull out all my CDs, in case we need those. And I have a few records that I got to pull as well, and then I'll do that. But that's coming very soon. Today I went to on my lunch break. I went to the little antique store. I can't remember the name of it, but I went in there, and the last time I went, if some of you guys saw my last I think it was the last couple episodes ago, I guess, maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago, I guess, I don't remember. But anyway, I went to the place and I told you that they had some newer records in there that they hadn't had before, and they had some on the floor that they said were for somebody. Well, when I went in there today, that stack of records was still sitting there, never touched since the last week. So I didn't ask this time. I just picked them up and I looked at them. None of them had a price on them. And so I picked them up and I looked through them, and I didn't know what the guy was going to say, because the guy that was there is the one that just kind of prices really weird. And so I grabbed them. They had maybe 8 of them. They all looked to be in pretty good shape, the records, but the covers were a little dinged up. But I didn't know what he was going to say the price was, so I pulled 2 of them out and left the other ones there. I may go back and check on them again, because there was, of the 8, I think there were 8, I grabbed 2, and there was one that I already had, one I didn't want, and the other 4 I wanted. So, But anyway, I walked around and looked at the other records, just to see what the pricing he had on them. There's ridiculous prices on everything. And a lot of stuff was like $15 and $25 for beat up records and these terrible shape. And so anyway, I went back and I said, look, I got these 2. They don't have any prices on them. He was just looking at them like he put the price on them, but he couldn't find it or something. I was like, there's no price on any of them, on either one of these. So he's like, he looks at them real good. He doesn't pull them out of the sleeves or anything. He just looks at the covers, and I could tell he doesn't really know anything about them. And then he says, okay, $5 each. So I said, okay, $5 each. So the first one was the one I wanted to get the last time. Michael Schenker Group, Built to Destroy. The record itself is in really good shape. The cover, this spine is tore up pretty good. But overall, it's got some ring wear, if you can see that. But that's about it. And then, of course, somebody highlighted the songs in red. I had mentioned that on one of my other records, one of my previous videos, that I didn't know if that was on there or not. Somebody obviously colored it in with a red marker. It must have been the songs they liked, or maybe this was from a radio station. Who knows? And that was the songs they played on air. But anyway, so this one, I think there was 3 different ones that popped up when I scanned the barcode on Discogs, and it's basically worth about $15 to $20 mid range, and then the high range is like $5 more. So that was good. It's a good steal. This girl is gorgeous on the front there. Let's show you guys that for you leggy guys. But anyway, so this is like my 3rd or 4th album for Michael Schenker Group. The band looks pretty rocking right there. There's the girl again in the background, just kind of gazing over them, and they put the little keyboard guy back here. Like, yeah, we didn't really need him in the band, but he's here. So anyway, that was this one. I haven't had a chance to listen to the last one, which is sitting right here, Assault Attack. But I got to clean some records soon, and I'll be listening to a lot of that stuff when I get to that point. Then the other one I bought was Strange Brew, the very best of Cream. This one, the cover's in better shape. The spine is a little banged up, but overall, there's no writing on it or anything like that. Neither one of them have inner sleeves. I don't think they're supposed to. This one, there's a note on Discogs that says it's supposed to have an inner sleeve with lyrics and stuff, but they don't have any pictures of it on Discogs, so I don't know if that's really true. But they both have a plastic inner sleeve, the old chrysalis ones, and this one has a chrysalis one. This one I think just has a plain one. But anyway, this one I don't have anything by Cream besides this now. But I know everybody knows Sunshine of Your Love and White Room, and I probably know Strange Brew as well, because they wouldn't name this after that song if it wasn't a popular song from them. So, and then Crossroads is a Robert Johnson tune, so I probably know that one as well. Just don't know like this version of it. So. But anyway, this is Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Jack Bruce was in this band. Pretty cool. Pretty cool find. This one's also worth about $20 in pristine condition, and about 10 to 15 in this condition. But the records, like I said, they look nice. Slight little scuff on the MSG one. But otherwise, they look nice. I think they're going to play well. Then, I went to Goodwill a week or so ago, and they didn't have anything in there as far as, like, the records were hardly anything left in there. They had hardly any CDs, but they had a lot of movies. I didn't buy any movies. But it's kind of funny that a couple videos ago I mentioned that I bought the Chumbawamba's What You See Is What You Get, basically, is what it was called. But I said I had their first, or at least their hit album. I don't know if it was their first album, Tub Thumper. Well, I looked around for that. I couldn't find it. I didn't even have MP3s of it. And I was like, well, maybe I thought I had it and I just didn't. So when I went to Goodwill, first thing I saw was Chumbawamba, Tub Thumping, and I think this one, they were $1, the two CDs I got, but I think this one was half price because the sticker is red, and the other one's got a green sticker. One of them was half price, so one was $1, one was 50 cents. Then the other one was Lyrics. This is Falling Uphill is the name of this. I'd heard of Lyrics before. I knew they were some kind of punk band. I figured they were pop punk, but this is more pop, like modern pop kind of stuff with a slight pop punk edge to it. Not what I thought it was going to be. They're cute and everything, but I mean they're probably underage and everything as well. I don't know. I listened to it once and it was, one or two songs like kind of grabbed me. I don't even remember what they were called. But besides that, they're just kind of a little bit too much teeny pop or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Then I was at the Bridge House store, and all these were $1 as well. I picked up something that I thought was something else. It's called Black Tape for a Blue Girl, and this CD is actually worth a few bucks. The case is all broken up, but I think the CD is like worth $20. But it wasn't what I thought it was. I was thinking of the Black Girls, and not Black Tape for a Blue Girl. And this is apparently some sort of like electronica or something, I think. That's what I kind of got by looking on Discogs. Wasn't too sure. Then we've got I Mother Earth, Dig. This is an album I remember from the '90s, and it they were kind of a, I guess, industrial maybe, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but they were like a heavy metal band, but not too heavy. But I never did get this, so I saw it and I grabbed it. I think they have a couple other albums as well that I just haven't heard of. Then I got School of Fish. This is it's called Take Me Anywhere. It's a single, I guess, for that song, but there's 4 songs on it, and they are 2 of them are live, so I think it's just a single, not an EP. But the last song on it is "Save It for Later," and that's a cover song, and I can't remember who the original singer is at the moment, but I listened to this and it was real good. It's kind of alternative rock from the early '90s. They had a hit song, "Three Strange Days," I think it was. Then the next one I got, which is something I already have, but I don't think I have the cover. I think I was missing something, either the front or the back cover. I remember Stroke 9. They sang that song, "Little Black Backpack." The whole CD is really good, but I never heard of anything about them after this. I don't know if they had another album or what. They were just like '90s one-hit wonder kind of thing, and then I don't know. I just lost track of them, so I'll have to look them up and see what else is going on. The next one, I don't know anything about this band. They're called Mona Lisa Overdrive. I tried when I put this in to rip it on my iTunes. It wouldn't let me change the way the name was. It popped up like all capital letters with weird spaces in between the name, and I tried to take out the spaces and lowercase the name. No, it wouldn't let me. It kept changing back. So I don't know if what happened with that, but that was interesting. So I haven't had a chance to listen to that either. Then I listened to this one just today, actually. This next one, it's called Stir, and that's just what it's called. No self-titled, Stir. I got that one because I thought the cover was kind of cool. And I listened to it today. It's alternative rock. It was pretty good. It's kind of got that kind of a southern sound to it, I guess. I'm not very sure about anything in this video today, guys. It's late. But anyway, so that was those. And then the last batch I got it from the little pawn shop that I find stuff at. The pawn shop is good for '90s stuff. And it's also good for having a lot of CDs that doesn't have the case. I mean, it doesn't have the CD in it. It's got the case, but not the CD. And I found I must have found 20 CDs there that I was really interested in. It's stuff that I had missed or whatever. And I know they had the Mother Love Bone CD that it was like the greatest. When they combine the stuff, it's not. I don't know if it's the greatest hits, but it's a combined of their early, the Apple and whatever the EP was called or whatever. Those and it's got a bonus disc, and my bonus disc cracked at some point, and that CD didn't have the bonus disc. It had the space for the bonus disc, but it had Porno for Pyros was in there, so I just left it. And which I don't have Porno for Pyros, but I don't like them. But I wasn't gonna buy that again, until I find one that has the extra disc. And speaking of broken disc, I did buy one other CD that I had a broken disc on. Excuse me. And that was Lorena McKennitt. What is this called? Lorena McKennitt, The Book of Secrets. This album, I don't know what kind of music you would call this, but her hit song that kind of crossed over was The Mummer's Dance. It's 6 minutes long. I don't know if it was on the radio where I heard it, but I know I heard it a lot. And it's just, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know. It's not rock music. It's something else. But Lorena McKennitt. Anyway, that was one. The rest of them, I believe, are all pretty new. the 12 Yats of Christmas by Benny Grunch and the Bunch. Now, I did get another version of this a few weeks back, but it was a 2-disc version. It had, this has 18 songs on it. That one, the other one had like 27 or 30 something songs. I don't know if they're all the same. They're not in the same exact order as the other one, but they are mostly there from what I read when I was kind of comparing them. I didn't know if they're all there, but pretty close. But I got it just because it was a different version. But Benny Grunch and the Bunch are a local New Orleans kind of novelty act. They do funny versions of some songs. They do 12 Yats of Christmas. If you haven't heard that, you should look that one up. But the songs are silly. They're all mostly all based around New Orleans area. They have Santa and his reindeer used to live right here. I got a used kazoo for Christmas. Christmas in Chalmette. Oh, little town of Destrehan. What else? Norris, the Nocturnal Nutria. I could see the aluminum tree. The elves finally rap. I don't know, and it's R-A-P, not W-R-A-P. So maybe there's a rap song on here. Ain't There No More, and Schwegman's Gone Away. Ain't There No More Part 2. If you're from New Orleans, you know what that means. Metairie, oh Metairie, that's about where I live. Santa Put a Hurt on You. It was the night before right before the night before Christmas. That's a tongue twister. And just a couple other ones. So if you want something kind of funny but local New Orleans kind of thing, like if you were giving somebody something from New Orleans, that was unique to New Orleans, Benny Grunch and the Bunch is the kind of music you'd want to give them. It's just fun. But speaking of local New Orleans music, I found another thing that I never thought I would find, because I didn't know this guy put out a CD. It's called Abdul the Tent Maker, and it's Black and Gold fan. This guy is like a Saints super fan, and he's been on the radio. He talked like former Saints quarterback Bobby Hebert has a radio show, and he's on there. He writes little songs about the Saints, but they're really short. They're like 30 seconds most of the time, I guess. Maybe a little longer, but I didn't know he actually put an album out. And the name is Abdul the Tent, Makur, instead of Tent Maker with an E. I don't know if this guy's politically correct or not, but he dresses kind of with the Arab head thing. I don't know what they call it, but he also wears these shrimp boots. So I don't know what his heritage is or whatever, but he's a funny guy. But he sings songs about the Saints. Generally, that's it as far as I know. But some of the songs are I'm just glad I got to see them play. Black and Gold fan. Hap song, a tribute to Hap Glaudy. Hap Glaudy used to be a radio sports announcer for a long time in New Orleans, and he passed away several years ago, but might be more than 10 years ago now. The Swamp Dog remix, Empty Superdome, doing it in the Dome. St. Louis got run over by New Orleans. That's when the Saints won their first playoff game. That's what that's about. Saintsation Blues. Willie Roaf is a former popular player for the Saints. Don't Mess Around with Jim. Probably talking about either Jim Mora or a sportscaster guy. I can't think of his last name. Jim something. Friends in Dome Places, and Hokie song. Hokie was a former Saints running back, and then he did the radio show with Bobby Hebert, and he passed away a few years ago. He had cancer, and he beat it once, and then it came back, and you know how that is. So anyway, that's not all the local flair. We got one more. Dr. Agogo. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. It's called Hot Girly Action. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but This one, I know somebody in this band. His name's Ron Hotstream. Kind of cool looking CD. He is a guitar player. He does like country music now. This is alternative rock, though, I believe. But there's the other person in here that I've heard of is DC Harbold. I think he owns a comic book store, but I don't know him. And then I don't know anybody else locally, but that's a good one. I'm going to listen to that this week. It's probably going to be pretty good. Then this one is not local to here, but it seemed when I tried to find out what it was, because it wasn't even on Discogs. It's called King Khan Fubar. They used Comic Sans font. Whoop, can't see it very well. That glare. Cool little picture. That's why I bought it, because of the cover picture. And then it says on the back, "Have Airplay Release," whatever that means. And then the songs. These people are from California, Los Angeles, I believe. And it seems like the songs are going to be funny as well. The inside pizza and alcohol. I'm trying to pull this thing out here. We got. Oops. Oh, that's kind of an interesting little gorilla and a doll, as they would say. Got some pictures. No lyrics, but songs are like King Khan, good old what's her name, It's a Guy Thing, The Blender's Gonna Fire, Cornelius Barks, Fubar, Your Lovin' Squeaks, Chug-a-Lug, Gangsta Jazz, 5 More Minutes, Cell Phone, Ode to Cider, and Scratch, Scratch, Scratch. So, I don't know. I just picked it up because I like the cover, and it was $1. With all these dollars I spend on, I could spend them on something better, I'm sure. Then another band that I had heard of plenty of times, never gotten into them, Old 97s, Wreck Your Life. This one, the cover looks like it got wet because it was stuck together, but it didn't tear. It just kind of made that little white line across there, but it's kind of wrinkly. But I think they're kind of an alternative rock country mix kind of thing. That CD is like hot pink and yellow, which doesn't make much sense for a band like that, but whatever. But I haven't listened to that one yet. I'll check it out. And then the last thing I got was something I already have the record of, I believe. I'm not sure. But I'm working on my Bryan Adams collection, and we've got Bryan Adams Reckless. This one is pretty good. I listened to part of it the other day, and then I had to leave, and I couldn't do it. But this one has Run to You, Heaven, Somebody, Summer of '69, and I think that's it. I think those were the 4 hits. 4 hits, and they're all in a row. So I listened up to Summer of '69. So I listened to the first 6 songs. So, but Bryan Adams was one of those people who was kind of a rock guy, and then he kind of slowly got more and more pop oriented, I guess, and did softer kind of stuff, which is okay. I liked enough of his stuff that I would I like to have him in my collection. He's and his early stuff is real good. So his more rock, 80s rock kind of stuff. I guess in the 90s, because he did the song from the Robin Hood movie, the love song. I can't remember what it's called. Has bad memories connected to that one, or good memories, however you want to look at it. Yeah. So anyway, Bryan Adams. That's all for now. I'm gonna do my Rancid rankings coming up soon. I keep saying it. I got other things I want to talk about too, because I've been listening to some things while I'm at work and stuff, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about this band. I want to talk about this band. So I got some videos coming, but I don't know exactly when, because now I have to figure out how to clean this place up again, like I had mentioned before. So anyway, that's it. Been way too long, 25 minutes almost. We're gonna end with that. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.